Hello everyone, my name is Pixel Dan and welcome to the first ever video on my channel. So this is the first episode of a brand new Let's Play survival series called Block by Block on what we're calling the Attic Craft server. So I say server, this is actually a realm run through the Minecraft Realm subscription, and because of that it's purely vanilla. So we don't have any mods, we're not using any texture packs at the moment. If there is one thing we might get, I'd like to get Optifine, but apart from that, purely vanilla survival. Right? So the plan for the series is we're going to kind of take a leaf out of Efo's book, and this is going to just be my only survival world and hopefully span for hundreds of episodes. So the cool thing is this could be the last survival world I ever make. So it's going to be awesome to see how it progresses. Now, in Minecraft I would maybe consider myself a builder out of everything. So that's kind of going to be the main aim of this. We've got a few ideas. It's kind of why I chose this place for some large projects. So this is my little base. As you might notice, this isn't the first day on the server. So what happened yesterday was, I went and recorded a whole section and I just sounded depressed. Which I'm not. I'm grumpy and pessimistic, but I'm not always sad. So we decided to record that again. So there's 3 of us at the moment. There's me, Tiny Temper, who's online, and another guy called Itch James, who's currently away for the weekend. So they might be joining us soon. But you never know, more people might pop onto the server and you might see some more faces as we go. But yeah, let's take a little look at what I've done so far. So, this guy's quite cool. This is the wandering trader who just happened to wander into my base. So we kind of captured him, split him off of his llamas. Had a little bit of a heart attack last night because it turns out during the night they drink invisibility potions and disappear, and I thought he had just died. But that's fine. He's got some cool trades, but I don't have any emeralds, so I can't actually trade with him at the moment anyway, so that doesn't matter. A minute ago, I just went and got my horse 95% beef. The reason he's called that is because in the UK we had a bit of a scandal where traces of horse meat was found in a lot of meat products. And there's a certain lasagna company that actually just had horse meat in their beef. So this is 95% beef. The first ever horse I caught on one of these worlds was called 100% beef. And now each time I make a world, the first horse I get is a jet black horse, and the number just kind of gets slower, and it'll go down to the point where we have 0% beef. Then that's going to be a full horse. But yeah, so beef is kind of the stallion of the herds, or I imagine anyway. And apart from that, I've just kind of done this. I've made a custom tree. Those are pretty easy. We'll maybe show you how we do them. Made some little skinny trees, a little hobbit hole. Now you'll probably notice quite quickly that I like the lanterns. So if we go in, the lanterns have taken over my base. I've started to landscape this tunnel a little bit, sloped it down, and here's just the main base. So we got some chickens, kind of laying their eggs. We got some cows with a couple of chickens in there. We'll kill them in a second. And we got the pigs. The pigs were a nightmare. I don't have any food that pigs eat yet, so I had to slowly just push the pigs all the way down, and then block off behind me, and then keep pushing them down to get them into here. And I managed to get 2, but I can't breed them yet. Got some wheat, got some pumpkins, got some cactus from a desert that's way over by spawn, and obviously we have an AFK fish farm. Now we weren't sure about the fish farm at first because it does feel a little bit like cheating, but I don't know how any of the mechanics work yet. I do want to get a villager trading system and everything going, but obviously it's changed with this update. So we're going to use the fish farm, we're going to kind of get ourselves started, and then I'll get rid of this. I don't want this here forever. In fact, I don't want to be in this base for too long. This is just while we get ourselves established. I've got a mine down there. So yesterday I did manage to find some diamonds. I only got 3, so they went straight into a pickaxe, and I got myself some obsidian. So we're going to make a nether portal soon, because my mine's on the way down. I've got a nice little water drop, so it's nice and quick to get down. But on the way up I've just got a ladder, which is boring and takes too much effort. So that's going to be a water elevator eventually. Might do that in this episode. I need to go and collect some materials to get started on a project, or to get started with the project for the area. So as I said, I would consider myself a builder, and one of the ideas for this area is I want it to be a kind of fantasy style build, and I want there to be a little bit of lore considering this area. So there's maybe like an old civilization that's either died out or a catastrophe's happened, and what's left is just the ruins from that civilization. So I think we'll first start on that around here. We'll get the lore established, and then from here we can spread out and hopefully get over to this mountain where we got some nice Stonehenges up the top and big towers, and maybe even a few big dragon skeletons or something. That would be quite cool. but that'll probably change as we go. My ideas always change. I'm never good at sticking to something. So I'm going to collect some materials and then I'll see you guys in a second again. So, now that we've got a few items, let's look at establishing a little bit of life in the server, in the world. So one way we can do that is by starting to set up the lore. So the lore is just basically the backstory of how things have developed and evolved on the server. Now, as I said earlier, the kind of lore I'm looking at is maybe an old ruined civilization. So we're going to start that right here near the base, so it's like we've decided to settle near where a little bit of the story is. So to make it nice and simple, over here I'm going to build just a little tower in the kind of fantasy style that we're going to be using, and then I'm going to turn it into a ruined tower to go with that idea of civilization that's been lost. So I'm going to build that, and then I'll catch up with you guys when that's complete, and we'll look at how to turn a building into a ruin. So it's now actually been a couple of days since I last recorded, and in that time I've collected all the materials I needed, I've built a tower, and I've done a bit of AFK fishing. So I've managed to get myself this full enchanted fortune free pick, and I've got all the stuff I need to get myself a silk touch pick. I just need to finish it off. So I thought I'd do that right now. Silk touch goes in. We want to remember and rename it first so it doesn't cost quite as much. Dance. Oh, silky touch. There we are, finished. So when I was doing this, I discovered it's actually pretty easy to get XP. Start game now. At the start of the game. Oh, I've not got any there. Thanks to this new repair and disenchant grindstone. So if I do need XP, I go into it, I take one of these rubbish bows that I get for the AFK fishing, which I get XP from as well, and I just disenchant it. And that actually gives me XP. If you notice, my levels will go up a little bit here. That's brilliant, so it means that I can repair my tools without having to get an XP farm made quite yet. Which is awesome. It also means I've got all of these left over to start making stuff like dispensers and droppers and things like that. So, let's go outside, see what I've got, and work on ruining this tower. Here we are. So it's just a little basic tower. There's nothing too fancy about it. All the kind of design and the detail is going to come from actually ruining it. So let's get some materials that might be handy. Probably won't need that, but we'll definitely need some of these older looking stuff. Actually, let's just take a look at this and see what happens. Yeah, I'll be fine with this. Right, so the first thing I want to do is I'll use my silk touch pick for now actually. Sort some of this out. The first thing I want to do is take a big chunk out the tower so it looks like it's maybe been attacked or had something fired at it like a catapult. So I'm just going to pull it up a wee bit. Then I'm going to start taking this out. Just a little bits here and there, and we'll work away at the side. There we go. We didn't want this floating. Now that looks pretty good already. Maybe take out a little section there. Yeah. Awesome. So let's try and collect some of this up. We don't want to waste any. Get rid of this tower. And then when you're building, constantly go back and have a look. So yeah, get a good little vantage point and just see how it looks, see how it's changed. There, I think that's looking pretty awesome already. You're already getting the feeling that this is an old tower that's being ruined, as opposed to just this old tower standing there, which is unlikely to happen. If you go around Scotland, we've got the kind of natural heritage areas where we've got lots of old ruins and towers like this, and you'll find there's barely any of them standing. If it wasn't for the work that gets done at Edinburgh Castle, that'd be falling apart by now as well. So let's just go around and we'll take out the odd little section here and there. Maybe like here we'll make that a bit offset, we'll take out a section of this door. One thing I do quite like to do in these ruins is actually leave the door on, but make it look like it's just kind of standing there by itself, like a lot of the support's gone. I think that looks awesome. There you go, that looks good. Take out a little bit of stone there. Maybe take out that one as well, actually. There we are. Just want to knock a little bit in here as well. So when we take these out, what we can do is then replace them with something else, just to give it a little bit of look without taking too much material away. So I can pop something like that there, and there. Now it looks like there's just a little section being knocked out. Take this as well, do the same there. There. Just creates a little bit of texture in there. Knocks it back a little touch. Let's get rid of that. There we go. We start seeing the wood popping through. So that's one of the reasons I like to build the whole build first. It's easier, I think, to make something and then turn it into a ruin than to just build a ruin, because everything that I want to be in the build is already here. So I'm not going to kind of overlook a couple of little design aspects. It's all here. I just need to figure out how it is that I'm building this. So knock a little bit through here. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe the same there. Then we don't want to forget to do the floor. So I've kind of left this half slabs on purpose. I'm inventing, I just feel someone will be able to pick that stuff up now. Pop that in there. Because then what we can do is just go in here and vary the level again. Ah, there, that looks awesome. Do the same over here. Oh, that'll actually show the grass. That may work out quite cool. We'll turn that into some cobble. There, so it does seem like there's a little bit of a deeper foundation. Maybe do the same to this one here. Pop that in. Pop that there. Oh, there, that's looking good. Maybe we should have a little bit of dirt in here actually shown through at some point. So maybe over here. And in fact, I've got a silk touch pick now. So we can pick up a little bit of grass. We will get rid of, in fact, let's put a couple of these little bits away there now. Pick that up. It's starting to get dark. This is where building gets a little bit dangerous, but we'll be fine. I'm sure. There we go, pop that in. That looks good, like it's just starting to pull through. Let's get another look. Yeah, that's looking awesome. So let's climb up a level. Now we've got this little area. Let's knock out a section here. There we go, and then maybe just a block here. Work our way up again. Now this is a big open bit here, so let's go up to the top. Maybe do the opposite side slightly. Go, we don't want that floating. Maybe get rid of that. That. It's looking pretty cool from up here, but again, we don't want the floor just to be flat. We do want to give that a little bit in here. That'll do. Let's get rid of this little bit here. Maybe even knock that up so it looks like the floorboards have been lifted up slightly. There we go. Let's pop that down. And then as we go down, if I can get down. Do you know what? There we go, that looks fine anyway. Maybe take out one of these ladders. Pop this back in, but down one. Yeah. Same here, just get rid of that. Get rid of that. Make it a different level slightly. And now we've actually got these cracked stone bricks. So take some of the normal ones, just strategically place them in. There we go, you can hear the zombies. Oh, is that a drowned in there? Has he got her? Nah. There we go. We want the cracks to look like they're running up the build. So you don't want to just design it from the outside. Do it from the inside as well. Let's kill a couple of these. There it is. Let's see. I'll do it now. Right. And again we can pop a cracked one here. Obviously we can't do it at the stairs, but we can the kind of areas in between it. There we go. Oh. There about. Another little cracked brick there, cracked brick there. There we go, I think that's starting to look pretty good. It looks like an old ruin. What you'd imagine a kind of destroyed tower to look like. Now, let's get a little bit of colour in there as well. There we go, that really adds kind of that aging effect, just to have these vine covered bricks going up the tower. Right, so you kind of see what it is I'm doing. So I'm going to work on it a little bit more, and then I'll bring you guys in once there's a little bit more design on it. Alright guys, so it's actually been a couple of days since I last recorded. So in that time, I've made a bit of progress on this tower, and you can start to see the vibe that I'm going for with all this. So I want it to look again like that abandoned civilization. So the tower has been totally knocked out. I've added a little bit of green around for colour and the mossy cobblestone, and using the leaves. I think the leaves just add that extra bit of aging, because it's like the vegetation has started to take back over the tower, which is what had happened to these ruins. I've added a little bit of farmland around, so I have hydrated these by waterlogging some half slabs underneath these normal or these cracked bricks, just so this is actually harvestable. So it's, I mean, you can just hoe the land and put the seeds down and it will grow. It'll grow slowly, but it will grow. But this way you can actually harvest this wheat if you want to, and then place it back, which I think is pretty cool, and it just adds that little bit of touch instead of it just being a purely aesthetic field, because we have had the water pretty well. I've added some barrels. There's nothing in these yet, but what I'm going to do is maybe collect some bones and bone meal and cobwebs and put them in the barrel so it looks like there's stuff in it. We've got a little bit of treasure in there. Now we can't actually get up because I've taken out some of the ladders just to add a little bit of effect, but it's not really, there's not much going on up there. It's more for the aesthetic appeal from the outside here. So we'll close our broken door. And yeah, I've added a couple of custom trees. This kind of almost, I'm not sure how to describe it. It's a bit like a slightly short willow near the water, and this oak looking tree over here, just, well, again, a little bit of farmland around it. So this is actually a situation in which I've not hydrated this farmland here, so you can see the dirt's just a little bit lighter and some of this wheat's taking a little bit quicker to grow. And if I do break this and don't plant the seeds again, this will turn back into normal dirt instead of staying as farmland. But it's cool to know you can do that. I've also planted some sugarcane around here, so there's water hidden underneath these slabs, and then I've popped a bit of string on top of the sugarcane so it won't grow that high, so I can actually control how high this grows. And I like the 2 tall, I'm not so keen on the 3 tall for builds like this. I think this looks much better. And then to go along with these custom trees, I've done this old tree that's either kind of fallen or been blown over, and it looks like the bark's starting to peel off and stuff, which I think is an awesome little touch that you can do now. In fact, we can maybe do it in the middle here as well. Nah, we'll just leave it like that. Yeah, so it's like the tree's fallen over. Maybe do a couple more little bits of stick or branches lying on the ground over here. I think this really adds to it. We've started to do the path. We're linking it up, just adding a little bit of rock around. And yeah, I think this kind of gives you the feel that I'll be going for. So I am going to kind of, over the next few episodes, I'll maybe even start working on the main build, which I'm thinking is going to be a floating city over this dark forest up here. So I'm going to clear an area in the forest and build a crater, so it looks like it's not just so much that the city's floating, but that it's been pulled up out the ground. And then we can maybe, I don't know, have some chains dangling from it and some maybe chains actually holding it back down to the ground, and a giant crystal somewhere, as if that's kind of the power source of all this. But these ideas will change as the world progresses. We'll discover things that will kind of shape our idea of how the world is going to look, which is quite cool. We might find a cave and decide that that's where we want the crystal instead, so it's at the bottom of this maybe mine shaft, and people were excavating and happened across it by accident, and that maybe caused a disaster. Or maybe it just got to the point where these people were, I don't know, they were wiped out by their own greed. Maybe there's lots of different things. It could just be a natural extinction. We don't know. But these are the type of things that we can make up around the world. So I think one cool thing to do when you're designing lore for your world is actually leave questions in there. Don't decide everything. Because if you leave that question in there that just nobody knows, that allows anybody who comes along to kind of add their own little bit of lore to it, even though it's not really officially part of your world. And I think that's a cool little touch you can do for other people visiting, maybe using your designs or your world. So I think that's pretty much going to wrap up this first episode, guys. Next episode, me and Tiny Temper, who is building this awesome big mushroom over here, are probably going to look at getting some villagers from the far out village and bringing them to our bases, or maybe even to spawn, maybe make a little communal villager area. But I would like to get some villagers here. Obviously I've got I've got 2 mending pickaxes now for my fortune and my silk touch, but I'm still using iron tools in all the other sections. I have been saving up, I've got a few diamonds. I know that Tiny Temper came and borrowed a few, but I've got 40 in there, so I could make a full set of armour, and actually I think I could make the axe and the shovel as well with that. So I would like to get a diamond axe, diamond shovel as well, get mending on them. But since my first little bit of luck where I got the 2 mending books in one night, I've not had any more luck with the fish farm, so that's why we want to get the villagers across. I've already got a couple of lecterns built, so that when they come across I can just place the lecterns and then cycle through their enchantments, and I'll show you guys how to do that when we bring them across. Got a couple of beds ready, I'll get 2, and then we can convince them to breed by having this spare extra bed here, and they'll decide that they're a space for another villager. It's quite cool. It seems pretty easy to breed them now. I've been growing my carrots obviously through here. I really need to make this base bigger, I think. Yes, I've been growing my carrots around here. I've got a fair few, not too much, but there's enough to start breeding anyway. Yeah, I think that'll be one of the next projects. I would also like to get a super smelter built. I actually helped Tiny Temper build one earlier. But I've just not got the iron to make the hoppers at the moment. I think that's the main thing. The hoppers and the rails. What Tiny done was she went into a mine shaft and got all the rails from there, and then she came and stole some gold from me for the powered rails actually. But yeah, I'd like to get something like that on the go. Maybe a few more technical projects as well as this building, but building is really what I got into the game for. I think it just opens up a huge creative aspect that really isn't available in other games. That's one of the reasons Minecraft strikes with me so much. But yeah, we're going to stop it there. Hopefully I'll see you guys in another episode where we can work on a little bit more establishment in the world, or maybe getting these villagers over or doing another technical build. Right. So I'll catch you guys later.